What up, everybody? I'm still dizzy. I gotta turn around. There we go. Hi, it's me. It's your boy, Tyler Tafolla, from In the Round at Tyler Tafolla. The one non-stop shopping place where you can find all the fun pop culture, theater, arts, movies, everything, all in a nice little bundle called In the Round with Tyler Tafolla. That's me. Joining me as always is my co-host, Anna Duchi. Hi.
Hello.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
If it's been too long. We have a pretty awesome episode today, you guys, and we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna have the earlier this week I had my good friend Luke Dimyan, who we zoomed together, and he is on this awesome show right now called The Chosen. And what it's about? It's pretty much life and times of Jesus and his disciples, and it's told in a very fun and modern way. Scripts are really rad, but what's cool about it is that it is all on a streaming platform on an app. So kind of cool, kind of a different way. But our topic today is about streaming, and we wanted to get right into it, me and Anna, because it's crazy. We were talking about this earlier. It's crazy in the fact that like even within this last year, we were saying like, but especially like growing up, you go to a certain channel and it was, the Disney Channel or it was NBC or whatever. And now you have feels like every channel under the sun has its own streaming service, because you got Disney Plus, you got Peacock now, which is the NBC version of that, HBO Max, Hulu, all the things. And of course you got the big one, Netflix, which kind of just started off as, as we all know, you got the DVD in the mail and you'd mail it back, kind of like a library card or something like that. And then someone went, hey, what if we all put them online? So it's pretty cool. Anna, out of all of those, what do you spend the most time on, do you think?
Probably Netflix.
Yeah.
That or Prime Video.
Mm-hmm. That's the crazy thing is like, I watched a video about this the other day. It's like Netflix there was some sort of lawsuit because they had all these movies on, but weren't paying. It was something like that. So they just started making their own original content. And
that's why they started?
Yeah, that's why you had like House of Cards came out, and like
wow.
You go on to like you got Stranger Things and all the things now, and that's why, you had all this original content come out of Netflix, and then everyone went, we could do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They kind of led the way with all of that original content.
Entirely.
I mean, they were one of the first streaming services out there, but now everybody's trying to do Prime original series and that kind of thing. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, but there's so much great content out there now too.
Yeah. Great original content is like it's you rarely saw it on like on the certain channels, so, and that was the cool thing about Netflix first starting off. It's like you were able to do this original content that maybe not have been able to play on NBC or Fox or certain channels because of what played on them already, because you had certain shows that were already at certain prime times of the night and stuff like that. So it's a whole other way of thinking of television now, which is so cool. Like something like right when Stranger Things came out, it was like, for me, because I 80s junkie and I love all that kind of stuff, but I'm sure. And you listen to like the Duffer Brothers who created it. You listen to their story of how they like just tried to pitch it to all these different networks and just no one was taking it, and they finally took it to Netflix, and it's like, so just gives people more freedom.
It does.
Hopefully, until everything becomes more profitable and then the world explodes. So.
And I think it's definitely apparent in our generation, like. In even just our parents' generation, cable, because we grew up with cable, and I think that they've stuck with that more. But our generation is more adept to explore all the different options, especially like the streaming, and have all those different options. And it's also, in a way, nostalgic for at least me, and for some of us that we can watch those old shows that we watched on cable every day. And when we were going to go to school and just pop them on, like I can go and watch SpongeBob whenever I want, you know?
But it's crazy because it's like, I mean, even this is the kind of kid I was watching like TV Land when I was like 11 or 12 and like watching I Love Lucy and like Gilligan's Island and like watching that on TV Land and like, not that you don't have that possibility now. Like it's obviously always on, you know, if you have, you know, your basic cable or whatever, you know, you can pop it on and it's probably on there. I haven't watched it in forever, but you knew at a certain time this was going to be, so it was like, you scheduled your day off like, okay, I know I'm going to go home and this is going to be on, and it felt safe. Because that's the thing now, it's like, there's so many options and you can watch them at any time. Mm-hmm. And that's like, it's awesome, but it's also daunting because you're like, where do I begin? Yeah. Because, like, even with, like, you watch something like Parks and Rec, which, like, you know, people always say, like, you know, the first season was kind of like, you know, starting up, and then they hit their stride with season 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. But you didn't have that, like, when you watch shows now, if you're streaming something, you watch it, you don't like the first episode, you're like, I'm good. Mm-hmm. You're like, but wait, you know, so there's, like, good things and also, like, you know, different things. And I don't know if it's bad or not. Maybe I'm just old. But, you know, it's just cool because you do get to explore everything that's out there.
Well, also in the age of cable, we had to watch whatever episode was on. Like, you never knew what the series was. Like, I would always come home and watch House when after I came home from school. So I loved the show and I watched it a lot, but I never knew the storyline in order. So I actually just recently watched the whole thing from beginning to end, and it made so much more sense.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing too. It's like a show like a sitcom like Friends or Full House or, you know, any of those kind of shows. You can watch them out of order. Mm-hmm. But something like that where there is a set storyline, like I couldn't imagine watching like something like Breaking Bad. Yeah. Now after like. Now that I've been spoiled and, like, that I can binge watch all the episodes, it's like, you know, waiting that long is, like, that sounds weird to say. No, I had to wait. But it's, like, it's true, though. It's, like, it's crazy, like, you did the anticipation for it. And you kind of get that still now with, like, Disney Plus is really good at, like, especially with their Marvel stuff now, it's like you gotta wait the next week to, you know, watch, like, the next episode of WandaVision. They were doing that. It's like it was every Friday. And that's cool about Loki. It's like it's every Wednesday now. Because usually Disney Plus does, like, you know, they'll release stuff every Friday, and Loki's every Wednesday. And it's like, get a nice little, you know, Marvel party in the middle of the week. So it's just kind of cool. But yeah, we want to take this to our interview now, because that's the cool thing about this show. My friend Luke is on it. It is a streaming show that is on their app. So you have to download the app, the Chosen app, and it's totally free. It's totally free. They want people to watch it. But it's a really good show. It's really well done, and I really enjoy it. I finished watching all the first 2 seasons because they're all crowd-funded episodes and stuff like that. So they were like, you know, if we get this amount of money, we can do the next season. So pretty cool stuff. But my friend Luke plays a very specific character in the story of the Bible, and we're going to talk about that in our interview. So take it away, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You guys, we have a heavy hitter in the hot seat today. He is a wonderful friend, actor, performer. He has just been announced. He is playing Judas Iscariot in the Chosen TV series that you can stream now on the app. Give it up for Luke Dimyan.
Who? Whoever that guy was in the back, kick him out, fire him.
Yeah, he's out. It was my dog. Yeah, like, go sit in the kitchen.
Woof!
Yeah.
Feed me more.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. That scamp.
Exactly. Thanks for being here, bud.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me and for that intro that I definitely do not deserve. What was all that? I thought we literally just had this talk. I'm not that big of a deal.
I hold you at such a high esteem, and I'm ready for the world to know. as you go about betraying the Messiah. In this
Well,
new-
I'll try to betray him in the best way that I can to just, for everyone else. I want to make sure that when I do it, I meet everyone's expectations and I just do it justice, get up, look around, come up to him, give him a little kiss on the cheek. It's like, hey, Rabbi. That's him. Get him.
Yeah.
like a good full. I really want people to be proud of the moment that when it finally comes out. They're like, yes, exactly how I wanted it to happen.
Did the book justice,
Oh my goodness, yes! I remember that part for the book. They did it.
Book.
I mean, I heard they might change it. They might add like a CGI monster or something that we have to defeat, and then I betray him. But who knows? Who knows?
It'll be like that Noah movie.
Oh my goodness! Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I remember that because my family's very religious. We're very Christian, and they didn't know who Aronofsky was.
Yeah,
they didn't know, and I didn't know at the time. But my dad was like, look, it's a movie with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And it's about Noah. Let's go. So they brought my two younger sisters, who must have been like 12 and maybe 15 at the time.
You're all watching it. You're like, wow.
What? No, they were devastated. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. But my mom was having like a full-on panic. We walked out of the theater and she just reprimanded she was like, why did you bring us here?
Why did you bring us here, Daryl? Yeah.
This is terrible. And my dad's like, I've made a mistake.
This will be good.
This show is, oh my goodness. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I highly recommend it. I recommend it to everybody. This is genuinely the perfect show to encapsulate the life of Christ for anybody who wants to see it. Because with most faith-based projects, it's very leaning towards whatever faith it's originated in. But this one is so genuinely just written well as a show first, as like a good narrative.
Like
and cinematically, yes. Yeah. And it uses so many cinematic techniques to keep the audience engaged, and it keeps pressing the bar up and up with every episode that airs and every season that it tries to like conquer by telling an interesting and intimate story about the life of Christ that most people just forget to even make an attempt to. Like, they really try. I watching the season premiere of this episode made me realize how much effort they're actually putting into this show, because they make a decision that they didn't have to do, but because they did, it made it all the more just personal and interesting. And they took this perspective that no other project would, because they treat it as this divine scriptures. Like, we can't do anything. We can't change anything. We have to just say it as it is. And so it's just like a line for line, like script read, with just people who don't even really get to perform because they have to do it exactly how it's either said or how people need it to be done. But this show, courageously enough, comes out, as you could tell, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Like, I worked on it, and then they made the terrible decision to be like, you need to watch it. And I was like, no, because if I watch it, I'm going to be going fans. Like, no, watch it.
Yeah.
And then I did, and now I'm like one of their biggest fangirls, and it's all their fault.
Yeah, but that's like one of the biggest, like, I mean, we joked about it, but like, book to movie thing. Like, you see it in any adaptation of a movie that comes from a book. You are too loyal to it, and then you don't get to make any choices with, as a director or as an actor, you don't get to make it your own.
You're less performing and you're more reciting.
Exactly. Yeah.
But honestly, it's just really good. And I was hesitant before, but now I'm genuinely recommending it to any and all my friends to watch, because it's just a good show, Christian or non-Christian. It's very good. It's very intriguing. It's very beautiful, and it's free. That's the best part. It's free. You can literally go onto the App Store, iOS or Android, and just look up The Chosen, and there it is, all beautiful and ready to be downloaded.
You have been keeping this a secret for a while.
Yes, since
a secret,
September.
Like in the show.
Yeah.
Since
September of 2020, they had cast me, and I've just been very quiet about it.
Yeah, when I last talked to you, you're like, "Don't worry, something's coming. Something big is coming. I will be doing something." I like just kept on badgering you, and then the time that we're filming this was like within this last week. It happened. I was like, "Oh shoot, that's gonna be."
Oh, smack dabbly diddle.
Yeah,
Ain't
yeah,
he just? He's the guy.
yeah. He's doing the thing,
The
because,
big thing.
yeah,
The big hunkarino. The big whoopsie daisy.
yeah, because that's the thing. Like, religious or not, that character, that person, is such a layered individual that
He's iconic.
yeah, we've seen him, in books, movies, musicals, like
Stage plays. I didn't get to fully see it, but I saw the beginning of the Trials of Judas Iscariot, which is like a stage play, and it's just. But this is the guy. I'm just so excited. I love this character so much. I've said it in an interview with the director Dallas, and I just genuinely, I've always found him the most interesting because his entire history is wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
The way he's introduced in the Gospels is like, it's a full line. Like, oh, here's Simon. Here he's great. Here's John the Beloved. We love him. Here's this jerk Judas. Just letting you know right off the bat, we hate him. Honestly, I know a lot of people call him a villain because that's just naturally how we go about it. But what's made it easier, because honestly, I wish I was playing a villain in this show. I think you've seen me perform before, and I think I just have a soft spot for these over the top, just loud and proud villains. Like, one of my first real roles that I ever got was I just graduated high school in this performance of Damn Yankees, and I played Mr. Applegate, which is literally my other favorite biblical character, the devil. I love playing any form and every form of the devil. He's just so much fun. He's such a narcissistic, just wannabe. Like, he's so desperate for attention. Mm-hmm. And I love characters like that. But the thing is, Judas is nowhere near that, because we want to see him as the villain, but really he's just sad. He's literally the saddest story you can imagine. Yeah. Because he was a part of this group. He was one of the, especially biblical, they don't say it flat out, but subtly, he was one of their high-ranking members. And I don't mean that like in like badge-worthy, but he got stuff done. He helped organize. He was very reliable, like throughout the disciples. He was the guy to turn to. I'm amazed they cast me so young, because usually, historically, he was considered like a big brother to most of the disciples.
The more mature, yeah. Take everybody.
And so, but at the same time, he was never really a villain. He made like one mistake, and then, like, historically, he immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
And then
remember, yeah, he immediately regrets it and like feels the weight of all of that afterwards.
Yeah. So he's less someone to hate and to like revile, like, oh, I can't wait for the villain moment. He's more someone like to pity. And so it was really easy to just find the human moment and to make him this person who has all this like genuinely kind ambition to do something good. One, because the screenwriters gave it that way. The moment they gave me the script, I looked at it, I was like, wow, thank you. This is exactly what I needed to make this character fantastic. But also, it's just the perfect building blocks to make him human. And he just is so human that it's hard to... I think everyone's really hoping or expecting like a big villain reveal, and I'm over here like, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be like a moment where he comes out and he's like, haha, I did it. I think it's just going to be a big old
expect that
roller coaster of sadness.
To be like, have the sack of money and be like, yeah. But that's my favorite portrayals of Judas has been, like you're saying, he's just a good guy who, just wants to, at the end of the day, do the right thing and be on the right side.
Can I tell you my favorite to this day? Because I've seen a lot and I've enjoyed most of them, but my favorite, hands down, Judas Betrayal is by the one and only Ian McShane in Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah?
Yes. I remember when I first saw that movie, I was like, hey, family, we should watch Jesus of Nazareth for Easter, because Easter was coming up, and Easter for us Coptics. Oh, we really go hard.
Gonna go hard on
one
it,
one
yeah.
Easter, I was still in high school, and I was like, we've had this Jesus of Nazareth DVD set for so long. We should watch it. And both my parents were like, no, that movie is long. We are
Yeah.
not doing that. That's crazy. And I was like, okay, fine. And I watched it by myself. And I was so blown away just by the scope of this film.
Mhm.
It was genuinely the most unique, because I'd seen a lot of Jesus films before that. They were very like short. They got to the point. There was like, oh, here's the Lazarus moment. Here's the thing. Hi, I'm Jesus. I'm really happy. And then we got the crucifixion.
Yeah.
It's literally the spark notes of the Bible, and it's just the same thing every version. And oh man, like I enjoyed it as a kid, but now I look back and I'm like, oh, these were boring. But Jesus of Nazareth stood out to me because of its scope, and especially with their portrayal of Judas, because all the other Judases had the one line. It's like, yes, Rabbi, this is the one. Me, am I going to betray you? No, I would never do that.
Yeah. He's in that creepy villain voice and just like,
yeah, Ian McShane. Well, we all know who Ian McShane is. He is prolific. He's amazing. He just stands out in a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
He's Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. Come on.
Of course, that's the one.
That's the one. You're like, oh, Ian McShane. He's been in so many stuff. It's like, hi, I'm Ian McShane. Oh my God, Tai Lung.
Yeah. Kung Fu Panda.
But the way he plays it, I remember witnessing the moment of the betrayal, and the sheer confusion in his eyes. Like, genuinely, it was the most amazing thing to witness, because it looked like he had been duped. Yeah. It was not even like a trick. It looked like he made a miscalculation. He's like, don't worry, I've got this. Yes, no, Rabbi. He was so adamant. He was energetic. He was like very proud and happy to be there. And the moment it happened, he was confused, and almost like he was the one who was betrayed.
Yeah.
And then that full like twist like sent me reeling as a I wasn't a kid. I guess I was a teenager.
I'm so excited for that. You're going to knock it out of the park.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk a little bit, just like, how did we get to this point? How did, was your upbringing just because you're a movie guy, you're a pop culture buff like me. Like,
I am.
How did we get here? What is
all right?
Because was there an actor
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the sun exploded into a million tiny particles, which then created land, and mass formed into the great expanse of space. Then dinosaurs and a bigger rock,
going.
And then those people died, and then Homo sapiens, and those da. Where are we? Anyway, Ghostbuster ecto coolers were right on the market, and everybody was running to the stores, buying them out, and they were delicious. And in 1996, a little tiny potato was popped out of Mary Dimyan, and that was me. I was there all spud and wrapped up, and everyone looked, and they were like, well, I guess he's cute for a potato. It's really tiny, though. Is this the only size he comes in? And the doctor was like, that was the only size, period, ma'am. And I was like, great, we'll take him. Half off, right? He didn't respond after that. Anyway,
I think I grew up more after all of this now.
Yeah. Please cut. It's like, so we're cutting this, right?
No. Good. More.
I was raised in Torrance by my mother and father. I was raised Coptic Orthodox, for I am Coptic Egyptian. And so Christianity, especially Orthodox Christianity, has been a huge part of my life. That was basically my first lore that I got into. I memorized Psalms. I still have like some Psalms memorized. Don't quote me on that, because I will mess them up. My grandfather was also a very prolific priest in our church. Like, he was very well known, and he was very well spoken. So everybody really loved him. And so when I was born, a lot of people flocked to my family and to little baby me, and there was just a lot of familial and cultural love that surrounded that. And so Christianity was something that was very like close to my heart, but it was also very strict.
Yeah.
And there was a certain point where I learned like all the stuff. I like read the Bible and everything. And then I kind of like, I was like, yeah, this is great. And then this thing happened called cartoons.
Yeah, yeah.
And I started watching cartoons as a kid. So if anybody's wondering, he's like, oh my goodness, why is my kid like a perfect Christian boy? It's like, it's TV. TV ruined them. It's all TV's fault.
It's all downhill from here, kids.
No, but it wasn't just that. It was my mom mostly grew up between Egypt and California, but my dad primarily grew up in California from an early age when he moved here when he was young.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was actually very well versed. And I don't know if it was his fault. Don't quote me on that. But it something within me was so stubbornly curious in the things that happened outside of the church that I just kept searching for it. I got really into music, but my dad had like a very, I remember this very strictly because when anyone asks me what my music taste is, I immediately reference this. When I was a kid, my dad had 3 CDs that I would just put on shuffle in between. It was the Queen's Greatest Hits album, the Evanescence first album, Wake Me Up, Wake Me Up.
Oh my gosh.
And the Lord of the Rings Return of the King soundtrack. If anybody wants to know my music taste, it's those 3 things.
What?
Just a combination of that.
What a stretch in dynamics, like.
And I was committed to all 3 of them, man. I was just like, okay, great. Can we skip to that one song where Pippin like sings while Faramir like goes to his dad? Like I was like, I like that song. I like Wake Me Up, and I very much liked Another One Bites the Dust. Let's just like wrap them back and forth, boys.
That's so real though. It's like when you realize as a kid, like the scope of music and movies outside of your, what you've experienced in your, within your childhood. It's like, there's also this, and it's everything. You're like, whoa.
I watched a lot of TV as a kid because I loved these really crazy and expansive stories and this imaginative things that I've never seen before. And I just wanted to see it like continue. My favorite things to watch as a kid was like Power Rangers, Gargoyles on Toon Disney, always some other stuff. Redwall was really cool, especially because it had some religious aspects. My parents were like, okay, cool, it's Christian, great. But the thing that, oh my goodness, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the cartoons, the original 80s one, I was able to watch a few episodes of that.
Yes.
The 90s, the gritty one with the angles, that one was also one that I grew up on. But the thing that did me in, the thing that really did me in was Jim Carrey's The Mask, which is so funny because I saw it in Egypt. I was visiting a family members, and I remember the first time I saw it was in Egypt. It was in English and everything, but it was recorded on like a VHS.
Everything makes sense.
And my brain exploded because I was like, wait, those are cartoons in real life.
Yeah.
That I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And from that point on, I was very adamant about becoming a performer. At first, I wanted to be a comedian, which definitely frightened my parents to no end, which didn't make sense then, but now I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just very, very adamant that that's what I want to do. I wanted to perform. I wanted to be loud, witty, crazy, everywhere. Did I say loud already? I really wanted to be loud.
Mention I'm loud? Yeah.
Did I mention? Subsection B, paragraph C. Loud!
But that totally, I see that just in your personality and all of that and the way you set up and deliver comedy now. I'm like, that so tracks. Like,
it's like we're in the therapist session. It's like, oh, it's coming together. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Jim Carrey. We got another one.
Yeah. Put him in the other room. Yeah.
Send him in. Get the jacket.
They're all in there like, yeah, baby. Yeah, totally.
It was a bit difficult because my family didn't know what to do with that. There were no performers in my family. It was just me. I was basically chasing a pipe dream. People were supportive of my determination and my ability. Like, no one's like, you're bad at this. You shouldn't be doing. They were like, no, you seem rather good at this. We can't really like give you any advice or help you along the way. We just know the stereotypes, the the
You go to
horror
Hollywood.
stories, and the Hollywood, like, oh no, the press releases,
Yeah.
the poor child stars. Like my mom was all about like the taboos and the scary things, so she was kind of adamant against it. And my dad very much liked the idea of a cushy job, so he was always like pushing me towards editing or filmmaking, which hilariously enough he didn't know, but is also equally really hard, if not a little bit worse. The worst thing you can do with auditions is give yourself out there and then get nothing in return. With filmmaking, you not only have to give yourself out there, but you have to give a good sum of your own money into that thing. And
It's
then also still and get absolutely nothing out. So hilariously enough, I think I made a good choice.
Yeah. I mean, when you're I don't know why you use the word like trailblazer of the family. And the one putting your foot in for the first time, it's like, it's daunting, but like, I think, and now we're seeing it, it's like, it's the hard work that you put into this kind of stuff, that hard work delivers at the end of the day.
Well, thank you. I wouldn't go so far as saying a trailblazer. I mean, I'm the firstborn child with my family. I have two sisters, so I'd say like same term there applies here. Guinea pig, I'd say, just like figuring it out. Like, oh, let's see if this works. Yeah. Oh no, rashes.
Right.
Next one. Like, so don't worry. I'm testing the waters at my own pace. Parents and my family, I've always been so supportive, especially when I like set my foot down. For the longest time, I was kind of following the regular kind of family line. Like, I think they still wanted me to go to a regular kind of college and to get like a degree in some form of steady job. Mm-hmm. But I remember when I graduated high school, I went to a community college that had just been transformed magically into a real university for the first time. And they accepted me. Yeah. For better or for worse. And I was there for a semester and I got the best grades that I'd gotten ever, but I was literally having the most miserable time of my life. And I think my parents saw that. And so when I finally came out and I brought them my 10-step PowerPoint plan for AMDA, Performing Arts for the College Conservatory of the Los Angeles Hootenannies, they immediately were like, I was expecting some form of resistance, but they kind of like bowed their heads and was like, all right, let's do this.
Like, that tracks.
That tracks. It seems like this is what you really want. And
that's crazy. I had a similar situation. I was in community college for a year, and then I was like, nope, I gotta, do the
Wasn't
thing.
that just like the most miserable time? Wasn't that like just what?
It's so wild looking back at like the hardships that we have gone through and thinking like that was so big in the moment, and I don't even like, it's not even a sty in my eye anymore. It's like, it's a stepping stone. And it's weird because that was like such like the, I'm going to be in this moment forever. And it's like, no, it totally like, was just leading to something else. So it's crazy.
That is, oh my goodness. That's something I really wish more people, we could all just remember and hold on to as we go through things. Mm-hmm. Is just realizing like, no, it's okay. This is just a moment, just a ripple in the pond, and there'll be another, and then the calm will come, and I think we'll be able to appreciate the calm all the more because we've been through that time, that hardship, no matter how small or big it was. But usually they pass. They pass with relative ease once you set your mind to something and you chase it with like a hope of betterment and aspiration.
Yeah, especially for performers or like,
oh my goodness,
in the trenches trying to just be seen, like get the foot in the door, as they all say.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the amount of times I've heard people like, you just need to get your foot in the door, and it's like that.
Yes, that's nice and all, but they tell them to stop closing it. On my freaking toes.
Exactly.
Like, just when you think you're close enough. Oh my goodness. I love it when you know that feeling when you audition for something and you get a call back and they're like, oh yeah, it's between you and somebody else. And you're like, oh my goodness, my pinky. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think it's dislocated.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Can someone get me some Advil? Oh man.
Oh my
Just a
god.
piece of wood. I need a bite. I need to bite something. Just lock it in.
I think fellow artists see it in each other. They see the spark because like we met in college and it was just like I saw that in you. You know, I saw you were, especially when I met you, you were hungry. You were like ready to like, you were chomping at the bit to do, you know, to get out there and do the thing. And that like the ones who do make it, the ones who are, you know, resilient and like are hungry and are ready to, you know, go get the, you know, and we're seeing it right now, like within, you know, we're seeing the it blossoming right now into something really beautiful. And I say this with no hesitation, you are one of the most driven, talented people I know. So like you are, you know, I love you. What? Shoot.
What? That was so out of. No, I love you too. Jeez. Something in the air. Allergies.
Yeah. What is something that you want to make sure, like, it's like if you could go back to that time and talk to, you know, you then, or like the kid who's just starting out in theater, what would you want to make sure they know right off the bat, and something they like, you want to make sure they don't learn like 4 years later? It's like something you want to make sure they know right off the bat about performing in the industry and all of that stuff.
Well, shut up. For the love of God, you little squirmy stop. Quiet. Just for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Calm down. Why are you little? I definitely tell him to read more. Definitely read more. I probably hand him some plays. I tell him this isn't something you need to be perfect in, but you're already on the right track if you keep on trying. I'd also probably tell him, like, I understand it's very stressful, but hey, school is still fun. You're learning about things. Yeah. Maybe don't drop out of that summer class in honors chem because the teacher really liked you that one time, and I know it stressed you out and there was a lot of responsibility and no one was there to really emotionally support you, but it was a fun class. You could have learned a lot. But I would have definitely overall just told myself, just, it's okay. Just take your time and listen before anything, because I learned this way too late. And if there's anything that I wish I learned later on, is just to listen. Because the moment I started listening to people, to the actual lines that were being said in movies, and this is kind of on me because I have ADHD, so sometimes it's hard to take in everything at once. It's sometimes I hear a phrase or a word or something, and it really doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense, and I might take it as something else, and my brain will just be like, "I'm sorry, we aren't here right now. If you'd like to call us, please reach 911." Right. But I would definitely just remind myself. I'd like hold myself. I'd hug me because I think I was very hard on myself back then. And back in the day, back in the, you see. But and I just tell myself, just listen to people. It'll help you perform. It'll also help you understand people better. And I know that stresses you out, but it's okay. Just take a breath, appreciate everything around you. You don't have to be important to be worth something. Yeah. You're already worthwhile and beautiful just for existing. Just enjoy the things that you enjoy. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for enjoying the things that you do, and just have fun. But also listen and shut up. For the love of God. You don't always have to have the last word. You're good. People forget, like, theater or film or any of that stuff, it's supposed to be fun. And when you forget all of, you know, and it's hard not to forget, because it's like, or it's hard, you know, because when you're in the industry, when you're in all of that, and it's all the technical stuff and money and everything gets involved. But at the end of the day, you know, we are pretending to be other people for a living, and that's pretty rad too. That, oh my goodness, that is the raddest. Because then you also get to learn stuff. Like, I learned so much about Judas that I didn't know, especially for my family, who I guess my uncle was like, no, Judas was the most important. I was like, say what? And he basically brought in like a bunch of evidence that showed, I don't know, like before all the Gospels were written and everything, Judas was like the right-hand man to Jesus. I'm not saying that this is where the show's going to go. Not at all. But like, I remember he brought up this beautiful moment in the Bible where Jesus basically washes the feet of his disciples. And it's a beautifully humbling moment, especially for the disciples who are like, this is a huge show of respect to someone who's usually higher than them. So for Jesus to wash the feet of his disciples is like unheard of. It's unreasonable. Mm-hmm. And what's written is, and then he went to Peter. And of course, everybody knows like, oh, Peter was the head at the time. And he was like, no, please don't wash my feet. I'm not worthy. But and then my uncle pointed out, that means someone came before. That means he washed somebody's feet before. And then he pointed out, I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. Judas. And then we started like fan theorizing. Oh, he probably took it and he felt so proud of himself. It's like, yes, I deserve this. I'm super special. It's like, oh, that would be him. He would be like, thank you, Rabbi. I really appreciate this. Like all the hard work that I've done. He wouldn't have. There's so many this man's entire life, I like doing research has been the weirdest thing because nothing's for certain. He's been wiped off the face of the planet. He's only known for one thing, and that's betraying Jesus. Even his end is a bit speculative. Yeah. Some people say he threw the silver back and then hung himself, and that was it. Some people say he bought a plot of land with that silver, and then he just his guts exploded while he was on that land, and that land was called the Fields of Blood. Yeah. Others say that where he died, that place was later purchased, and that was called the Fields of Blood. Like it's so uncertain about this guy because he's been absolutely wiped. He's a clean slate. Nobody knows anything. Yeah. He's just a set of theories.
But that's the, like I said before, that's going to be such the fun stuff about watching you portray this guy is like seeing all the, the little moments you bring to it. Because that's the fun stuff watching actors act, is seeing like their faces change, like, and their personalities change, and just thinking like, what are you thinking right now? Like, what is going through your head? And no one will ever know except for you. And that's so exciting. That's the fun stuff,
That is pretty fun. I also love it when people, sometimes it feels like a game show. Yeah. Because sometimes I'll do a thing, and then everybody's like, oh, you made me feel this way. And I was like, you got it. You won. Hey, congratulations. Please tell them what they have won. It's like a sad feeling.
Exactly.
And a brand new car.
Yeah. That's all it takes.
This 2006 Volkswagen is completely yours for guessing the absolute horror that this actor went through. This emotional trauma.
Where can people watch and where can people follow you?
Go to the App Store, whatever App Store you have. Mm-hmm. Download the Chosen app. Like, again, there's no signatures, there's no acceptance rate, there's no like sell your soul to the devil. There's nothing like that. You just download the app. It's free to use, and the episodes are also free because it's crowdfunded and it's based on donations from anybody who wishes to help support the show and everything that they do. So yeah, there are literally no strings attached. You can watch it. You can watch a few episodes. You can watch the whole thing. And the best part is it's really good. It's actually just really good. The first season's on Peacock, and the first season's also on YouTube for free if you want something just a little bit easier, if you don't like the commitment of an app. But yeah, if you want to see my episode, you'll have to download the app. But it's like oh no, I have to get this free lanyard from the gift shop. Geez.
If I must.
That's why I don't go to the art museum. Like,
right, exactly.
It's super easy. Yeah. Barely an inconvenience.
Totally. You're amazing, Luke.
You're more amazing, Tyler.
Do what I can.
Did I mention this guy has made his own musical twice? He made an entire musical, and now he's just making another musical.
It's just because I'm bored,
It's because you're... Beware the talented bored artist, for they will change your lives forever.
Thank you for being here, Luke. I love you, and you're amazing.
Bye, Tyler. I love you.
Back to you, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. That was Luke Dimyan. He's the best. Watch him on The Chosen on the app. Like I said, it's streaming on their app and also on their website, I believe. So check it out. It's called The Chosen. He's really great. Wanted to talk a little bit more about streaming because we missed a big one. Broadway HD is awesome. And it's a streaming service that has put either movie musicals or musicals that have been shot professionally done, like the Cats one, which is one of my favorites there. Yeah, what have you watched on Broadway HD?
I haven't actually. My friend recommended it to me because she was gifted it for her birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I just thought that concept as a whole is so awesome because it's in this age of streaming, it's so nice to have, like we talked about with movie musicals, it's so nice to be able to have that content out there, especially for people like us who just love theater in every way.
Totally. There's a really good show that I watched on there that my brother actually saw live in LA when we were living out there. It's called The Lion, and it's Benjamin Schroeder, and it's just a one-man show. He plays his guitar and he tells this whole story of his life, and he does it just, it's by himself, and he's, playing music and playing songs, but it's like a whole arc of his life, and it's just like, when you're watching it, it's like very moving. And that's the cool thing about Broadway HD. It's like there's a lot of original content on it too that like you usually find. There's Cirque shows, like Cirque du Soleil shows on there.
Cool.
They're like professionally filmed and stuff. It's really cool. So check that out, Broadway HD as well. That's a nice little transition into our game, which is going to be kind of musical based. This is a game we like to call What Am I Wearing? No, seriously, what am I wearing? I don't know. Anna, you want to explain the game? I'm doing great so far.
Yes.
Yeah, you explain the game.
We'll be showing pictures of costumes, of ensemble costumes from different musicals to try and guess what show they're from.
Yeah, so we talked about this with John, our producer, just now. I think Anna's won every game that her and I have played since we began filming episodes. So tonight, get ready. It's going to be all me, baby. I have some pictures. You have some as well?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I can start us off,
okay,
and it'll just be yours first. Okay, screen mirror, entertainment room, boom. Okay, we're going to start off. What do we think?
I feel like I've seen this picture before.
Kind of modern. I screenshotted a lot of pictures of full, like, show pictures.
Is this from Hadestown?
It is from Hadestown,
okay, yeah.
It's cool. It's, like, very modern and,
This is their above the surface costumes. So they have, they're above the surface, and their costumes where they're, like, the underworld people. Yeah. And they wanted to show two completely different looks for them.
I love it.
I actually had a picture of the underground version for you,
so
cool, we'll see that.
Cool. I mean, I'll still look at it because it's nice little contrast.
Yeah.
I just love it because, like, if I had to, like, go outside for anything really quick outside the theater, I wouldn't feel, like, weird, like, walking out in that kind of costume. Yeah. Compared to, like, something like Lion King, people would be like, oh, he's in the Lion King.
It's very civilian.
Is like, yeah, it's very subtle. And I like that.
Yeah.
Compared to...
Oh, wow.
Any thoughts? What it might be? It's a very specific scene in the show, so it's like something. Yeah, they're wearing different costumes like throughout the rest of the show.
I'm not sure.
You want to know something crazy? This is actually from Lion King.
It is,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this is it's that scene where Mufasa comes to him. Remember who you are, and they do. He lives in you.
Oh.
And they're all these beautiful colored costumes, like
I love
just
that
like
song.
Full like choir on the just like supporting symbol, like you've got it, man, go save the kingdom, like that's what I want from my inside voice is just a bunch of colorful costumes and people singing at the top of their lungs, he lives in you. That's what I want. If we can make that happen for me, just for my own life, that'd be great.
From Aladdin?
Yes, it is Aladdin. Yeah, these are ensemble members from Aladdin. I think this is one of the marketplace
I love
scenes.
the colors.
I know. And if you can't see it as well, but there's a lot of like cool like beading and like patches all over it. It's really, cool feel of like a fantasy marketplace. It's fun. Whoever this ensemble member, I want a full story about them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Their shoes
yeah.
are so cool.
The shoes, the hat.
I don't know. It's a very period piece, obviously.
Sort of. Yeah. It's not our time period, I'll say that.
I'm stumped. I don't know.
Like from an alternate universe, maybe. Not an alternate land.
Like,
Which is pretty cool, pretty rad, pretty wicked.
from Wicked?
It's from Wicked, yeah.
It is?
Yeah, it's the witch hunters costumes. It's like, or like,
Oh, that's such a random part of the show.
it's the beginning and the end of the show when they're all like, good news. Yeah, it's like that's what they're wearing. So because like they
Really?
didn't, there's like they didn't want them in full Emerald City green yet, but kind of different, kind of Aussie-ish. So
That's so funny.
yeah, I don't know what this might. This was Lion
The
King.
Argyle socks stump me. It's Newsies.
Look at these little flippin' 20-somethings trying to be flippin' 12-year-olds. It's just a good time. That's the funny thing about Newsies, like the musical, like love the show, really awesome. But I always like when I was a kid, I always like considered it like Annie or something like that, where it's like it's a bunch of kids, And then I saw the show, I was like, oh, a little bit older,
it's
but
adults.
yeah. Hey, Jack Kelly, like, but they do.
They have the one kid.
They have the one kid, and I get it for contract reasons and all that.
Yeah.
But Matilda too, guys. Come on, they're really good too. But yeah, just such a good show, and like these guys who are doing all the flips and doing. You always remember it's like you're reminded that it's like 8 shows a week they're doing that, and just like the stamina and physical weight that you carry every week. It's like good on you. It's like as good as any Olympics or anything. It's like they are getting it done. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Boom. This is my one-man show. It's called Tyler and His Tunes. And no.
Is
What are we
that
thinking?
Chris Jackson? It looks like Chris Jackson.
No, but Chris Jackson is in this show.
That's funny.
Yeah. Is it just because he's bald? Yeah.
He looks like
The eyebrow? A little bit.
but maybe because he's bald too.
Is it in the Heights?
It is?
Yeah, it's Graffiti Pete.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, he came out with a boombox during the beginning of the show. Yeah. And you saw the movie, right?
I didn't.
Watch the movie, guys. It's really good. I love it. This is the last one.
Is this Tarzan?
It looks very much like Tarzan. It is another Disney musical. And let's put it this way, these characters did not look this way in the movie.
They look green. I don't know if that's the lighting.
It's kind of
or-
mossy, yeah. You want me to tell you?
Is that a tail?
Yeah.
It's not cats, is it?
No, it's not cats. No, it's I'll just tell you. So these are the trolls in Frozen the musical.
What?
Yeah. These are like, instead of like rock people, they're like mossy like creatures like that live in the mountains. Like,
I guess like this guy, but like the tail,
he's got a tail.
I don't understand.
Like, yeah, he. Yep.
Sure.
Like, I mean, like you could have painted them like all like rock color. I don't know. I don't know how you would make it better.
They made a choice.
I
And
mean,
they
it's
went with
cool.
it.
It's for sure cool when you like, especially if you see it on Broadway stage. It's like
Mm-hmm.
but you do think it's Tarzan, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
So, yeah, good on you. So ensemble member. I love that. All right. Here, let's hear yours now.
Okay.
So he's a bit of a fixer. But I will say that their rendition of Fixer Upper, though, like, they put some, like, drums in it. It's like, just a bit of a fixer upper. I love it. Like, it feels like, you know, makes you want to, like, get into it. So.
Alrighty.
Anyway.
First one. Let's go.
All right. Come from away.
Yeah. There you
I come to the
go.
rock when we come from away. Yeah. Great show.
I love this show.
Rockin' soundtrack. If you guys
Look
ever
at
want
this
to listen to it.
vest.
Oh, I
love it.
want that vest. Are those people in that vest?
Yeah.
I love that. It was great. Yeah, that soundtrack I pump.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
In the middle of yeah, that's it.
There you go.
There we go. That's Hades Town. So
Yeah.
that's like, yeah.
That's the underground.
Yeah. In the show, they're above ground and then they go into Hades Town and that's what they're wearing. And it's really cool. The videos and everything I've seen of it, it's really rad. They're kind of like miners, like working for Hades.
Yeah.
So, with my dad, Patrick Page. Patrick Page, if you want to come on the show and then adopt me, that'd be really cool. Let's see.
Alrighty.
Yes, Queens, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Dude.
The iconic
Yeah.
art set.
Dude, the iconic, like, you've seen the music video, right? Mm-mm. So this is like straight up like, cause
the original music
Yeah, the
video.
original like
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera and Pink and all of them.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's just the anthem of the early 2000s. Yeah, so cool. Sets are really pretty. Mm-hmm. It's all awesome.
Their costumes in the show are incredible.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right.
Ooh, I'm gonna guess it's either Anigetchigan or Oklahoma. I'm gonna say Oklahoma because of the corn.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
This is the original, like, long time ago
Yeah.
production.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you watching, that is not Hugh Jackman.
No.
who have seen that version. There's a bright night in the meadow. Yep.
I just love, like, the wide collar and the bandana.
Yeah. It's crazy because, like, musical costumes haven't, like, they have, but also haven't strayed too far away from just, like, a simple design like this is, like, you immediately get it. And it's, like, you know.
But you can tell there's, like, influences of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. During the time that this came out, like, with the design on it and everything, for sure. Gosh, that opening song will always put me in a good mood. Like, I'll bump it in the morning. I'm just like, it's gonna be a good day.
You know the song Sorry with a Fringe on Top?
Yeah, chicks and ducks and.
When I was in it a million years ago, the one day we were filming, the guy who was curly forgot the words to one of a part, so he just kept going, when I take you out in Surrey, when I take you out in Surrey, when I take you out in Surrey with a fringe on top.
Here we go. And when I take you out in Missouri.
And obviously
that.
has never lived it down.
Dude, I love that. Awesome. Yay! The prom.
Yes.
Awesome. Great script for that show. It was a fun show.
And my boy Chris Sieber.
Yes,
Love
dude.
him.
Yeah, it makes me want to be 17 again and go to the prom.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fun show, really uplifting. It makes you have hope in humanity. So, yeah, great show. Let's
So
see.
good.
What else we got? Oh, is this? I haven't seen it, but Something Rotten?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome.
So good. I actually took a class with her.
Oh, really?
The one right in the front.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's her
and
name?
I love this picture. Beth Nicely.
Beth Nicely. Mm-hmm. Nicely.
Yeah.
That's
She's
awesome.
incredible. And this show is amazing. This
It's a
is
fun show.
This is during
That soundtrack, like,
oh yeah.
the opening song is awesome.
It's so good.
It's awesome because, like, and I don't know how much of this is Casey Nicola, who also did Book of Mormon, directed that, but, like, it just has that, you know, it's just, like, a fun musical farce romp of just, like, you know, you're in for a good time. Don't feel like, you know.
I've never laughed more
Yeah?
in a show.
Really? It's not.
It's so funny. And it specifically panders to musical theater people because especially there's the point where they actually perform the show that they're writing.
Right.
And it's all musical theater puns. Like,
oh, cool.
Like chimney sweeps coming out from under the table and just
cute.
cats running around everywhere. It's
naturally.
so funny. It's incredible. One of my favorite shows.
Moonlight's doing it soon. I want to go see it.
Yeah, next season.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a live. Oh, snap. We might do a live show at a show. But we won't film the show. But, like, us going to the show. That might be fun. We'll see. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Good game. Thank you, everybody. That was What Am I Wearing? Because I still don't know. Before we go today, we're going to take it to a word from our sponsors. Check it out.
There's nothing more important in this life than you. So to make sure that you fully take care of yourself, make sure that you have the energy to do what needs to be done. So reach for a Verb Energy Bar. That's right. Treat yourself right. Verb Energy. The energy that you need, desire, and deserve. Hug it. Eat it. Nothing says energy like verb. Verb to do.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry. I was too busy hanging out with my Verb Energy Bar. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Anna. As always, you're amazing. Guys, the arts have the ability to heal and to take us away to amazing places, and we hope that during this time we can give you some of that amazing magic that you have when you go see a show or you go see a movie or hang out talking with your friends about this kind of stuff. Makes my day, and I hope it makes yours. We hope to see you guys soon. Check out Luke's show, The Chosen. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you around. Get it? Bye.